All right, folks that are joining us on Twitter and YouTube, we are live here. And if you're also joining us on the Try Jams, we are about to switch to our intro here. We're going to welcome a Facebook audience in, but we're working on that, so we wanted to give you a quick update. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning for a good part of Washington County, Virginia, Bristol, Lebanon, Gate City. This is heading straight for downtown Bristol. So here we go with this warning. We're going to take you to our Bristol camera here. At least we're going to try to take you to our Bristol camera. Anonymous skies pushing in. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, including the Bristol Metro. Warning is until, let's check this here, until 5:15. So again, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15 for Bristol. Again, if you are just joining us here, stand by here as we are about to have our intro here. Again, our intro is now here. Here we go.
This is a FirstWARN Tri-Cities Severe Weather Alerts. Here is Skylar Doyle.
All right, live on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all of our platforms here, we have a new warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning, including downtown Bristol, Lebanon, Bluntville, southeast Scott. It is for far northeast Washington County, Tennessee, central Sullivan County, southeast Scott County, good part of Russell County, good part of Washington County, and southwest Virginia. Again, this is, and excuse me, we have a new warning. Our weather radio just went off, so we have a new warning for parts of western North Carolina. Let's turn that one off. There. Again, a new warning for parts of Madison and Mitchell and Yancey counties in North Carolina. We also just got a new discussion from the National Weather Service. So we have a lot going on, and everything was just issued at one time. So, but our main concern here is this potential that we have this storm here moving into Bristol with some gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour with this storm. I'm not seeing rotation in this storm, which is the good news, but a tornado watch is in effect. So if you're in Bristol, just heads up, but we do not see rotation in this storm at least that is heading for you. As I look at it, I'm also looking at it on a few other products here behind the scenes. But again, severe thunderstorm, and there might be a little bit of weak rotation. We will watch it as it pushes off in the north and east. It is in a moderately a weakly unstable environment, so we'll watch these storms closely. But the new National Weather Service talk here about the tornado watch that is in effect. They're saying the threat for some wind damage and brief tornadoes may persist over the next few hours. The line has become more disorganized. And that trend is expected to remain, but enhanced wind gusts and maybe a brief tornado could also occur with the strongest storms. So we're still holding on to a tornado threat here for parts of the Tri-Cities. And again, once you get behind these storms, your severe weather threat is over. But again, we have these storms with some very strong winds pushing into Bristol right now. So this is our storm. It's pushing into Washington County in southwest Virginia. We're having some issues with our camera, having some issues with the internet connection here after this first round, or a few thunder and lightning, just a little bit thunder and lightning pushed through earlier here where our studios are in Bristol. But again, we are on the air for this severe thunderstorm warning, including Bristol and Washington County here until 5:15. This also does include the Bluntville area. Kingsport is in this warning as well. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15 for the metro of Bristol. It is this storm here near Bluntville that we are watching. Again, some very gusty winds possible. Some weak rotation might be trying to develop in this storm, but right now I'm not seeing any signs of a tornado. It is more of a damaging wind threat. No hail within this storm. So that is the good news. It is just 60 miles of wind for Sullivan County, very small part of Washington County and Tennessee, the city of Bristol, Virginia, Russell County, Scott County, Washington counties in southwest Virginia until 5:15. As now a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued, and again, this does include Abingdon, this does include Meadowview, this does include Glade Spring, up to Lebanon, near St. Paul. It includes Cleveland It includes the Mesa Springs area, the Fulkerson area, the Arcadia area, downtown Kingsport. It includes Blountville, Plum City, just near Piney Flats, and parts of Washington County, Tennessee. It includes the Flowerville area, North Boston Springs, Old part there of Highway 11E in Washington County, and Highway 11E all the way up through, and that's actually Volunteer Parkway here, all the way up into Bristol within this warning. And again, we will take our camera here in downtown Bristol. Let's see if we have it. On resort cams, it is. There it is. It has loaded, so we will actually take that full here if we can. And this storm is about to push into downtown Bristol. This severe thunderstorm warning, again, for downtown Bristol. And it includes a good part of Washington County, Russell County, and Sullivan County as well. This storm that we're watching for the potential of 60-mile-an-hour winds here, and if we're going to keep up here with this, thunder, lightning also within this thunderstorm. If you're not seeing gusty winds within this, there's definitely the heavy rainfall threat with this though here, and that is what we are looking at. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning from downtown Bristol, Washington County, Russell County, down into Scott County and Sullivan County. Let's go to our high-res velocity imagery and show you these gusty winds, these brighter colors, really bringing out those wind speeds here. Might see a little bit of weak rotation potentially trying to develop near Blountville. I'm going to watch it closely. I don't want to say it's developing. It's pretty weak if it is, but we will watch this closely again for the potential of development, maybe a tornado, but right now the main threat would be damaging straight line winds within this storm. Again, we continue a severe thunderstorm warning from Bristol, Abingdon, down into Blountville now until that is 5:15 when this warning does expire. Again, 5:15 when this warning expires. The storm is moving off to the northeast. We'll see what the Weather Service says. This is moving at 70 miles an hour. Wow, this storm moving at 70 miles an hour. I'm going to track the leading edge, but the severe part blasts back down a little bit. It's moving northeast at 70 miles an hour. Let's track this here. A very precise storm track on the leading edge of it. Benham's at 453. Wallace at 455. So exit 7 around 4:55 as we approach 5 o'clock. Wendell, 4:58. This is going to quickly get to Greendale. Abingdon around 5. Holston, 5:02. Brumley Gap, 5:04. Lowland at 5:05. Rockdale at 5:11. Henderson at 5:13. Keywood, 5:14. Honaker at 5:16. Again, this is a storm moving at 70 miles an hour off to the north and east across Bristol. And we are going to continue to watch the storm as it pushes off to the northeast for some damaging winds. The winds in this 60 miles an hour, maybe an isolated gust up to 70 miles an hour. The Weather Service saying 60-mile-an-hour winds are likely within this thunderstorm. And again, the severe part of the storm stretches all the way down toward Fordtown. That's why you see the warning as big as it is down into Sullivan County here. But these very gusty winds could be along the leading edge of these storms here. Yeah, it's kind of a few little storms pushing northeast through this warning polygon. Seeing some more showers trying to develop from basically Cumberland down to Morristown. This is not expected to really grow severe. Again, that was watching our downtown Bristol camera. We can go back now to our FirstWARN live Doppler radar here on this weather alert day. These storms are pushing through the Bristol area. So cloud to ground lightning, gusty winds, very heavy rainfall. Winds could gust up to 60 miles an hour in this thunderstorm. And if we go to our high-res velocity imagery, we are seeing that potential gusty winds. Well, no, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is a bit concerning. In western North Carolina, it's a little supercell potentially trying to develop and rotate near Asheville. That broadened out in that last scan, maybe a little bit of rotation between Mars Hill and Asheville along I-26. We're going to watch that storm very closely for parts of Madison County into Mitchell County and Yancey County. If a tornado warning be needed, we'd go right back to that storm. But again, it's these storms here that are really pushing to through Bristol. Again, the National Weather Service here, we can kind of move this around on our screen. Say this is moving northeast here at 70 miles an hour. I believe this is going to pop up behind me. And we'll take it to the other side. Again, this is moving northeast at 70 miles an hour. And the green screen is not working, so 60-mile-an-hour wind gust is possible with this thunderstorm. It's located here at 4:36 when the warning was issued. We came immediately on the air to let you know about these storms that are moving through here, the Tri-Cities area. This is moving through the metro, some very populated areas right around rush hour now, with the time being 4:49. A lot of people about to get off of work on your Friday. I know all the schools let out early, so no school buses would still be out on the roads here. But again, this storm pushing off north and east very quickly, 70-mile-an-hour, with some damaging straight line winds possible, along with the potential of some heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flash flooding. Again, this is basically from the Russell Washington County line down through Bluntville, down to Fort Town, and all of this is pushing off to the north and east. Very gusty winds are definitely going to be possible within this thunderstorm as it pushes off to the north and east. Again, at 70 miles an hour. The fast momentum of this storm in itself could promote some of those strong winds to come down to the surface here as we're getting our studio window open to see if we can see anything as the storm is going to move through the Bristol area here. Exit 7 will be impacted by this, so as you go up along the I-81 corridor up toward the Abingdon area, could be impacted by this strong to severe thunderstorm that's now pushing through. This severe thunderstorm warning here going until 5:15 on this storm. Again, we're going to go back to our high res velocity. This is very gusty winds pushing off to the north and east. Benhams, Plainer Springs, Horizon Hills, down to Bristol, Holston, Abingdon, that's along US Highway 19 there, and then down the I-81 corridor, this kind of southern part of this cell, that's where that is going to ride. It's going to ride right along the I-81 corridor, and we're going to continue to watch this closely here. The Weather Service has issued a new warning, potentially. They've either issued a new one or a continuation. Getting a lot of alerts, but it's not coming through our chat room. And now, okay, so I'm getting a lot of alerts here for a new warning, but it's not coming through the chat room. Okay, I think this is going to be the same warning that's trying to come through here. But again, we are still watching this storm closely. We might have a little bit of spin trying to develop here. Let's go live to Bristol. I'm going to pull that camera back up. If it will load, we will pull it up. Okay, let's go downtown Bristol here as we're watching this storm as it pushes off to the north and east. Here, we're just going to get this out here that we have this morning. As this storm pushes to the north and east, Bristol here has it, this thunderstorm, and again, we go to velocity and we'll look at this storm. It might be trying to rotate. I can't tell all too well. It might be. We're going to watch it very closely as it heads up into downtown Bristol as well. So if you're in downtown Bristol and up toward Abingdon, just a few steps away from that safe place, we think the gusty, damaging winds are the main threat here as our radar data has went off of our map. That is not good. Actually, no. Looks like the Morristown radar might have had a bad scan. All right, there we are. We have got radar data back. So we'll switch you back over here. Got a new alert. It's just a special weather statement. So we're going to stick with the warning here that we have in effect. As the storm pushes into Bristol, again, we're watching this very gusty winds pushing into the Bristol metro. Let's get you down road by road where some of this heavy rain, gusty winds is really affecting right here. Over here is going to be Benhams Road, Oak Grove Road, Haskell Station Road will be through here. Here's I-81. Island Road runs parallel to I-81 here near exit 3. And then you can hit 381 to go back down into downtown, down Commonwealth Avenue onto Highway 11E, or Volunteer Parkway, I should say. What many people know it as. And again, the storm kind of brings it back down toward the Boring area down into Sullivan County. And we're going to be watching this cell closely here as it pushes off to the north and east at 70 miles an hour, according to the National Weather Service. Okay, and Wares Valley. Wow, in Sevier County, they've had a non-thunderstorm wind gust up on top of the mountain of 70 miles an hour. Wow. Okay, so that is a very strong wind gust there in parts of the mountains of Sevier County. Again, we're watching this cell very closely here as it pushes off to the north and east. It'd be this part right here that I'd be pretty concerned about. It's right along the 81 corridor pushing into Bristol right now. I'd be concerned about that for the potential of a little bit of rotation within this storm. Again, it is some mid to high level rotation that weakened there on that last radar scan. but it might be trying to do a little bit of something. If not, it's at least producing gusty winds. So that's the one thing we want to alert you to. Again, strong gusty winds as the storm pushes off north and east through Bristol, Abingdon, Lebanon, back down into southeast Scott County. But a good part of the more populated areas of our coverage area, getting in on that potential of some severe weather, including the one severe thunderstorm warning we have. Again, for parts of the Tri-Cities, including Bristol, Abingdon, Kingsport. But Kingsport, I really think the strongest of the storm is off to your east-northeast. So at least in the downtown section and in the main populated parts of Kingsport, as you go to the outskirts of Kingsport, now that might be a little bit of a different story. National Weather Service shooting a my scale discussion here, and that is for our area starting north. Does not include any of our eastern Kentucky counties. And we have this little guy trying to develop over Norton that we'll watch. Could be producing some pretty heavy rain there over Norton. And again, if we switch to the Jackson radar, want to know severe weather threat over for Letcher, Harlan, Leslie counties. So East Kentucky all clear. West of Gate City and Southwest Virginia, I'll give you the all clear on the severe weather threat. And down probably west of Rogersville, so Sneedville, most of Hawkins County, most of Greene County, Cott County, back south and west, clear of the severe weather threat. And your threat for the day is over. We still continue the threat for the Tri-Cities east the next little bit. And I was just clearing some counties, and well, that's why we just got an update to the tornado watch. Clay County's out of it. So is Claiborne, Granger, Hamlin, Jefferson, and Sevier. The tornado watch is still in effect until 8 p.m. for Carter, Koch, Greene, Hancock, Hawkins, Johnson, Sullivan, Unicoi, Washington counties, and Tennessee. It's in effect for most of Southwest Virginia, City of Bristol, City of Norton, Lee, Russell, Scott, Washington, Wise counties in Southwest Virginia until 8, Dixon and Buchanan counties until 7 o'clock, Harlan, Letcher, Leslie County. You're technically under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock, but we do think that threat has winded down for you, and you no longer feature a threat of severe weather in that area. We are continuing to watch this storm pushing right into the Bristol area, Abingdon area. Again, all these storms are pushing northeast 70 miles an hour. That forward momentum will help push that strong wind down to the surface here. That's why we're watching this storm very closely for that potential here, as it is a growing thunderstorm here over parts of our region. So we are going to continue to watch this storm closely. The warning goes for another 15 minutes here until 5:15. Again, this warning for Bristol, Washington County, into Scott County, over into Sullivan County, also down into very small part of Washington County in Tennessee, north and east. Getting a drink here of water. Again, as the storm pushes north and east at 70 miles an hour, the forward momentum of this storm is what's really going to prevent the strong winds down the surface, up above us in the atmosphere, high up, 90, 100 winds high up. Some of those winds will get translated down to the surface with some heavy rainfall and with the potential there of that forward momentum of that storm. That's just going to push those strong winds, that heavy rain down to the surface. So that's why they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning on this. And Bristol is about to get hit with heavy rain and gusty winds, especially the downtown part of the city is. Here again, severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5:15 for the city of Bristol. And this is where we're watching here for that potential of very strong gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. We do want to stay with you here for at least a few more minutes here as it's making its way through downtown Bristol. Actually, we see nothing concerning on our radar, which as of right now I do not, which is good news. We don't want to see anything concerning on radar, that is for sure. So let's try to go to Bristol downtown. Wait for that to load here behind the scenes. Hopefully it will. This would be a perfect time to have our downtown Bristol camera. And it is a perfect time, obviously, for it not to want to work. But that is fine. We'll continue to power through it without a camera and with just radar. These storms back here, they might be growing a little bit. Some heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds, but I think the severe weather threat with these west of Churchill, just now east of Rogersville, is fairly low across our area. It's really just from Bluntbill all the way up to Honeacre. That's really the one last cluster that we need to watch, with the exception of this cluster here in western North Carolina that is pushing in Burnsville and Bakersville right now, and Spruce Pine. Eventually, Avery County in western North Carolina near Newland, Elk Park would need to be on guard for that storm. But again, our radar data has went off of our screen, so we have no radar data. We just have the blink warning map to show you here. Again, some internet connectivity issues, and that warning goes for Bristol. Here's our